Good evening, McKee students. Before we begin, I'd like to start with a quote from Albert Einstein that I feel is very appropriate for our current times. In the midst of a great crisis lies great opportunity. This is Mr. Bowen, your principal, here at Ralph R. McKee High School. The new school year is finally upon us, and I wanted to take a moment to welcome you back and provide you with the information you need to successfully begin the school year. I would like to acknowledge that over the past 6 months, you have experienced a time in history that was unprecedented, and you faced many challenges throughout the global pandemic. As the opening of school is upon us, you will be faced with a new set of challenges as the first generation of students to begin the school year from a blended remote model. This will look and feel different to you than it has in prior years. Please know that safety and the well-being of all of our students has been taken into consideration as we work to develop a program that will meet the needs of all of our students. While programming is tentative and subject to change, we feel that we have enough to get you started in order to be successful this year. The following video presentation will be the first of 2 virtual orientations that you will receive as you begin the school year. The second video orientation will be available to you on Friday, September 18th at 5 p.m. Let's now begin your first orientation and take a look at the agenda for today's meeting. The first thing that you will see is the introduction to the next 3 days and its modified schedule. Next, you will be provided directions to access Pupil Path and any codes that you will need to set up your account. Third, you will receive directions for accessing Google Classroom and your codes. We will then provide an understanding on your attendance during the next 3 days. Next, you will receive information if you have any login issues. And finally, we will provide you with an overview for looking ahead. I'd like to now introduce to you Ms. Howley, our Assistant Principal for Humanities, who will take you through the first 3 days of the school year.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. As you know, in the first 3 days of this school year, everyone will be attending their classes in the virtual setting. So on September 16th, 17th, and 18th, you will be visiting your teachers in their Google Classroom. The calendar has been modified so that each day you attend school for a half day remote. In order to find out which classes you will be visiting on which days, we have created modified schedules, and you can find the links attached here in order to find your schedule. Please click on the appropriate link for your grade level. Once you click on the link, you will notice that Wednesday has been outlined for you. You have some time set aside to access your Pupil Path codes and your Google Classroom codes. And then for the remainder of the morning, you will make sure that you can sign into your Google Classrooms, and you will check in with each of your teachers for the upcoming school year. The remainder of the week, you are visiting specific teachers during specific periods. It is important that you click on the appropriate link and go to your class at the time that is assigned in these calendars. Now, I would like to introduce you to our Assistant Principal of Organization, Mr. Agron Valia. He will now show you how to access any codes needed to attend the first days of class.
Good evening, everyone. There are 3 things that you will need to access everything. One is a Pupil Path account. The second is a McKee CTHS High School email account. And the last thing you'll need after you have those first 2 are the Google Classroom codes. You can find all of that information at the McKee website at www.mckeecths.org. We've also placed a short video here for you in order for you to access your Pupil Path accounts. And on the next screen, you'll see a short video on how to access your Google Classroom accounts. Now I'll take you to the McKee website. You'll notice on the McKee website, you have a link that you can fill out in order to get your Pupil Path codes. Once you've received your Pupil Path codes and you have logged into Pupil Path, you then get your McKee email. In order to get that, you can click on this link, which will take you to a drop-down menu, which will have your name and your email association right next to it. Remember, your password for your email is your personalized student ID, which no one else has access to. Once you've created your Pupil Path account, and then you have your email account, all you need to do is go to Google Classroom. In any search engine, just type in Google Classroom, and when it asks you to log in, you use your McKee alias, which would be, in this case, for myself, avalia@mckeecths.org, and I would put in my student ID number in order to gain access. Once you've done that, you can go back here to the website, click on this link, and it will bring you to the McKee Teacher Google Class Code page. On Pupil Path, you will notice that you have a course and a course section. So if your teacher happens to be Mr. DiMartino, you would click on DiMartino, click Next, and then the course code, which is TPS65T, will be there. You can also then go back, go to another teacher, and again, you'll notice it's an AP US History course with the Google Classroom code. Once you have your course codes and all your sections, you will be able to be logged into your Google Classrooms. At that point, if there is anything that you need, all you need to do is just email the teacher either through Google Classroom or through Pupil Path. We've also included a short video on how to get your Google Classroom codes here and be able to log on straight from YouTube. And at this time, I'd like to now pass it back to my colleague, Ms. Howley.
Hello again. So referring back to those links that I showed you for the modified schedule this week, when you click on your link, it is very important that you look at the times for the periods you are supposed to attend on the given days. During those times, each teacher that you visit is going to be capturing your attendance during that classroom time. So please make sure, once again, to go back, visit those links, and ensure that you are in your Google Classroom at the time that is assigned for those classes.
During this time, if you have any issues and you need to cross some of these barriers and you have troubleshooting problems, if there are anything with regards to Google Classrooms, please contact the teacher directly with an email via Pupil Path. And if you have any issues with Pupil Path itself, please contact Mr. Ovalis, our community associate, at povalis@schools.nyc.gov. Looking ahead, starting September 21st, you'll also see we have attached freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior calendars in English and in Spanish for you to be able to know the exact dates that your student will be coming to school. Please be reminded that as any schedules change within the Department of Education, we will be updating that information on the cohort calendars, which is on the website. Please check the website regularly for any updates and information that we post. We will also post right under this webinar a link which will send you to a fact sheet, which will have all the links that were presented in this webinar for you. Thank you and have a great evening.